Okay, so today a familiar old face, professional gambler Brett Lloyd. Hello, Brett.
I say,
You're out in the garden today.
yeah.
This is a different thing. You're going to talk to us about a passion of yours, which is harness racing. And a lot of people watching this that normally tune in for the horse racing stuff may not be familiar with what it is. So I want you to sell it to us, basically. So you tell us what harness racing is. I mean, I didn't even realize until I met you or spoke to you earlier in the year that it even existed in the UK. So fire away and tell us what harness racing is all about.
Well, it's a minority sport, an amateur minority sport in the UK, but the people involved with it are like real passionate people. We have two hard tracks in the UK, one at York and one at Tir Prince, which is in Tywyn in North Wales. We do race on the grass quite often, every Saturday, Sunday. There's meetings in Wales, the Midlands, Scotland, north of England, Appleby being a big track there. It's just a fantastic day out for somebody. Well, it's worth going to Seaside because the horses complete a mile in about 2 minutes. So they average in 30 miles an hour for a whole mile. And when you think the top thoroughbreds only do it in 30 or 40 seconds, and the excitement and some of the finishes we have with 3, 4, 5 across the track going to the line together, in like a I know, and it's no bobbing heads because the heads are actually still. The heads are still, and it's like there's darts going towards the finishing line. I highly recommend anybody with one local, to go and see, to go and view it.
Where, I mean, is it organized or is it just something that happens? I mean, where can people find out about it?
I've sent you a list of the fixtures. It's fully organised. It's under the Jockey Club. Um, there'll be 6 or 7 bookmakers there who I haven't seen a bet refused this year. And when I say a bet refused, 4-figure bets, plentiful. Um, there was a bet laid last week, £3,000 at 11-4. No Betfair, no price guide. Just my opinion. It wasn't me. It was just a man's opinion against a man's opinion. The owner of the horse is a very, very good punter. There's 2/3 bookmakers who attend 99% of the meetings, who will accommodate you with big bets. I know Star Sports and Dragon Bet on course don't have any bets back, and it's not quite to that extent yet. But if you come to a proper meeting, you could bet your horse to win £20,000 without worry, I would say.
And
So
Brett, when we were young, when all the racing was off before the all weather, they used to have trotting on from France. Is
Von
trot
San.
is yeah, it's that's right. I didn't know how to pronounce it. Is trotting the same as harness racing, just a different name, or is there a difference?
No, there's a slight difference. We do have French trotting races because the French organisation do help out in Britain with to feed horses to them. We have maybe 2 races every weekend solely for French trotters, which means the front left foot and the back right foot go in unison, and obviously opposite. And then the pacing races, which are predominantly in America, um, Australia, New Zealand, it's the back and right foot, the back and front foot go together, right foot, left foot, and they have harness around the legs to help them go along.
Okay, so where are you said that you sent me the fixtures, but where talk us through some of the biggest meetings and some of the stories behind it, the people that are running that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Well, in the next month now, next 6 weeks, is the real busiest time of the year for us. I'd like to speak. There's a meeting in in a place called Greenhammerton, which is just outside York. The owner of the track, unfortunately, it's about 15 years ago. Might not be quite 15. His young son Daniel passed away with cancer, and he promoted a meeting, the packed meeting, which is on 2 weeks today for 2 days. And he gives all the benefit, all the extra money he takes to to Sheffield Cancer Hospital for Children. It's a fantastic meeting. All the horse owners attend, and everybody tries to go. It's the gentleman who actually owns the track, and he runs it for just does. His words to me yesterday was, "I'm so indebted to the way that Sheffield Cancer Hospital looked after my son. I'm indebted to him forever." And even though he sadly passed away, it's just a fantastic thing, really. And he's really, really, he needs all the support he can.
And the jockeys that is not jockeys, is it? So what they call drivers?
Yeah,
Are they?
drivers.
Do you get professionals come over from the continent to ride, or is it all homegrown people?
It's mostly homegrown people. I spoke to a driver last night, a young lad, very, very good, very, very. He got a big future in the sport. He was saying that he would like to have a body cam, or like they do on ITV racing for Cheltenham. Where they actually jump in the fences or with them. He would really like to do that, and they do it in America, and from what I see, the excitement of it, it's not only horses gallop, horses next to you. You're in a sulky, it's position. You can't just pull out, a width of a horse. You got to pull out the width of a horse. A horse. Get out, yes. Sorry, Sean. Dog attack. Yeah, you haven't only got to pull out the sulky, and they shouting, and it's fantastic. And if anybody would like to get involved with like the cameras, I don't know what they cost, next to nothing, I would have thought. We'd promote that into the show, and we really trying to rekindle it, for want of a better way, because it was fantastic 20 years ago, and then it seems to have died off a little bit. With the leisure pound, it's so easy to spend it lots of other places. But so, like, I was going back to, there's that meeting at York in 2 weeks today and tomorrow, Greenhammerton, and then the 9th and 10th of August up in Tia Prince. There's the Vincent Delaney Memorial, which is yet again, unfortunately, the gentleman passed away, and his brother took over and started promoting this meeting, and it's now become absolutely astronomical. Drivers come over from Australia, America. We have the top commentator who commentates on a thing called the Little Brown Jug, which is the most famous race in the world, Roger Houston. He comes over to commentate. That's up in Towan in Tia Prince on the 9th and 10th of August, which is a Friday and Saturday evening. And that again would be horses from all over Ireland, the best 2-year-olds, the best 3-year-olds, the best 4-year-olds in the country. Britain and Ireland. Fantastic prize money. Some races, 1 or 2 races would be for £20,000. So that's how big that actual meeting is. And then there's a big meeting in Wales the end of August, Tregaron, which I believe you're coming to the Sunday.
Yep, straight from Sandown.
Straight from Sandown, and that was that's the pinnacle of the grass race season. They have a thing called the Welsh Classic, which is with like £6,000 or £7,000, but it's like a Group 1 race and a lot of prestige, and just just fantastic day out. That's in a grass field, so with the weather, etc., it's not, there is tents, etc. there, but the meeting in York and the meeting in Tia Prince are in actual stadiums with bars and if it was raining, it wouldn't it wouldn't matter, but you could enjoy the day. Whereas in Tregaron, if it's wet, it's like I said, you're obviously in a grass field.
So those they permanent tracks specifically for harness racing then?
But the York and Tia Princes, yeah, they're half a mile in circumference, so they go twice round for a mile. And like unless you actually witnessed it, you wouldn't believe the speeds these horses get up to. When you think they average 30 miles an hour for a mile. So it's fantastic, And the VDM, the Vincent Delaney Memorial at Tia Prince, the final they do it so it's running, the lights, everything's but it's fantastic. They're doing a feed. They're starting to do a feed at York, so you can actually pay £19, I think, and you can watch every race. They got a drone, and that's where I thought where Ryan's saying about the jockey cam would be fantastic acquisition as well. So hopefully, all being well, I'm in negotiations with an online firm who I intend to bet on 3 actual races per weekend, so it doesn't take away from the bookmakers. And they want it, if you want to have a bet on your horse in Scotland and you live in Devon, Somerset, then you can do it. But what we don't want to do, we don't want to stop people travelling. We don't want to stop people going through the gate. So if we only bet on 2/3 races at the meeting, you can still, and with the feed and the stream, it should be all good.
Yeah, because that would bring the sport to the masses. Because I would assume that it's quite a close knit community. So if somebody just fancies it, I mean, is it a welcoming? I'm assuming it is because you wouldn't be advertising it otherwise. But if you're just going for the first time, would you feel a bit out of an outsider, or would it be, is it all sort of welcoming to new people?
Yeah, it's welcoming to new people, and if anybody who watches this wants to attend any meetings local to them, local to themselves, if I'm there, I'll sort out something. Get them a free bet with one of the bookmakers, or get them to a free entry or something of that nature. And if I'm not there, I'll know somebody who is, or who knows somebody on the committee. And we really need new faces. We really need new people coming in, and they'll be there's a meeting in Carnac the end of September, which the online bookmaker is promoting, etc. And he is giving away £110 free bets for local people at the track. So, so if you're a local, you come in, you can have a £10 free bet. If it's you and your wife, both of you can have one. You know, just trying to get new people through the gate. As for welcoming, you can mind your own business and sit in your car and watch the race, but you can go in the betting ring, and it is eye opening, to say the least. Some of the bets, they're not regular, but there is 3, maybe 4 punters who will really have it on. You know what I mean? Up in Musselburgh 3 weeks ago, I don't know exact figures, but the big punter from Ireland, I would say he had 25,000 on his horse in a maiden race, and as it happened, he's got beat because she's only a little filly, 3-year-old filly, and it's a mile and 3 furlongs at Musselburgh because they do one lap of the whole track. It'd be 20-1 on with a furlong to go, but anyway, it's ended up finishing third. Well, it's come out last Saturday at Tia Prince and beaten a horse called Aeroplane that's undefeated through his 2-year-old, 3-year-old careers. And in fact, that's the horse at the 3,000 at 11 to 4th. That's the horse that it was the same punter actually.
Do you stand?
I do, and I do represent my friend twice a year. Musselburgh and Tregaron, just because he's so busy, and we've owned horses together, etc. So I go and give him a hand for that. Going forward, the online firm that I'm really, really excited about being involved with is they will stand at most trotting meetings as a representation, so you know what I mean, to a
Yeah, yeah,
face there, if you know what I mean, to be seen, for want of a better way to put it. Still a few hurdles to cross with that. But like I said, the sport needs an injection of something.
yeah.
A big thing that, like today now, the meeting, there was a meeting in Wales or Ivington, which is Leinster actually. Today they cancelled it yesterday due to horse welfare. Travelling. The meetings at York and Tia Prince, Tywin, they have big facilities for water, and it's a lot safer there. But as soon as like there's the horses travelling in the heat, there's no questions asked. They cancel the meetings, and fatalities in harness racing very, 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 very low. There was two in the whole of last season. This is on the racetracks I'm talking about. Obviously at home, things happen the same as everywhere else. But it was only two fatalities last season, and the wrong conception of like how these horses are treated. Traveling men own them and they treat them bad. Like you just come along. I have friends who's the professional trainers. They'll show you. You say you brought your child there. You go and have a look at them horses, and if they were trained by Nicky Henderson or Aidan O'Brien, you'd say like they looked after that well, and they stand there and like they show you how to put the harnesses on them, and you know could we, they do these things, like, just for, new people to come into the sport. Could we desperately need them?
Okay, so anybody watching who fancies it, is there like a website, something which brings it all together?
Yeah, if you put in British BHRC, then on there it'll show you a list of. It's not easy to negotiate because but if you put in there and you have race fixtures and results go in there, and the people behind that are trying their best. They get the results on there as quick as they can. Facebook page. Um, Anybody want to know anything, more than welcome to contact me if they know, or go through you to get to me, say, or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they want to attend any of the meetings, whether it's South Wales or top of Scotland, I'll know somebody is there. I know somebody that'll look after them. I know somebody that'll make sure they enjoy their day and hopefully come back.
Okay, so get hold of me, we'll get hold of Brett. And I'm looking forward to going and seeing it for myself. When is it? When is it? August or September? I'm
Yeah,
going
no, end of last weekend in August.
last weekend.
Um, you know, if I hadn't told you about a side of bets, you wouldn't believe it. And like I say, these bookmakers, they're in grass fields. There's no bet fair, no guide. They are their own guide. And you put 2 to 1 on the board. Somebody comes in and asks you for a 6,000 to three. They're on.
Wow,
You know
sounds a
that
bit.
that that's the strength of it.
Yeah.
Um, and like you win, you pay with a smile. You know
Well, not that
that's
much of a smile.
No, well. Last weekend to your Prince, the gentleman who laid the bet to the Irish punter, one of the boys who was there said, I never seen anybody pay out £11,250 so happily in my life." And like he said, like, he has these sorts of bets all the time. He
Yeah.
has to bet winners. He can't bet loser, loser, loser over. He has to have his day in the sun. He's took on the best horse, best 3-year-old in the country with a maiden, and come out on top. He's entitled to have his day in the sun, isn't he?
Yeah.
And the bookmakers there, they treat people accordingly. Uh, Barry Pennington comes. 10 years ago, he was the one who really took the sport from a gambling into a different stratosphere. Where £100 bet was a big bet, a monkey bet was a big bet, and I can remember he's laid me a 9,000 to six one Tuesday night up in North Wales, big race, and my horse have won. He's given me the 9 grand, and the driver broke a rule. waving to us in the stand with his whip in his hand. If you take one hand off the harness, you get disqualified. So I've had to go back. I've had to give him his £9 and the six that I'd
Uh,
done. And to make it worse, because it was a 40-minute steward's inquiry, I got caught speeding coming home as well and lost my license for 3 months. So it was a total disaster, but we lived to fight another day, you know.
does that driver still drive for you?
No, he wasn't my driver. He was
Uh,
he is it was his own horse in Ireland. Horse he imported from America, but like a fantastic horseman, fantastic driver, you know, fantastic everything. He's still about now. You know, if he's aboard when it should win, he's a bit like Sean Bowen at the moment. If he's on when it should win, they do win, don't they?
as a rule.
Yeah, so like, you know, that's you know, listen, one mistake, you know, it was a genuine mistake. You know, he's celebrating. It was the big crock of gold race, and he was winning easy. So, but
Yeah,
left a bit of a sour taste.
you're a very stoic man. I don't think I would be quite so stoic as you, Brett. Anyway,
Uh,
mate, I think we've pretty much. Have you told everybody what you want to tell them?
Yeah, just about to say. Like I said, I'd really like anybody who can attend the meeting in Green Greenhampton in York in a fortnight today, fortnight tomorrow. Really, really, because you know you're £10 to go in, which you pay is every meeting. Every penny goes to the cancer hospital. Um, if when I get this online thing going, I am going to be contributing a fair amount of money you know, from the harness racing to Mick at York, Eric at Tia Prince with the VDM, or Derek Delaney with the VDM, to you know, and also the smaller grassroot meetings, because we really need, you know, it needs them. You know, I don't want to profit out of the harness racing online side of things, because I'm quite happy to give it all back to the sport to try and make it great again. You know.
Excellent. Well, on that note, Brett, I think that's I'll get this up as soon as possible, and hopefully people will see it and take the plunge and come and have a look. I'm looking forward to seeing you up there
Yeah.
in September, August, and yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks for your time. Hopefully, this
No,
will do some good.
yeah, thank
And if
you. Thank you.
anybody wants to get hold of Brett, you can get hold of me because all my details are on my website, and I'll put Brett in contact with you. So excellent. Thank you very much, mate. And I'll see you
Thank,
soon.
thank you very much, Si.